And Laura Casanellas, our product manager, has over 15 years of experience in the localization industry and has worked in a number of different projects during that time. Laura recently conducted a user survey which gave us a fantastic idea of how our users are working with KantanMT. One of the things that I think she found is that a lot of our clients are not making full use of the numerous features of KantanMT. So our webinar today will cover some of the cool, quick ways to translate with your customized KantanMT engines. Now, without further delay, I'll hand over the mic to the presenter of the day. Laura, please.
Hello there, how are you? Greetings from a very wet Dublin. It doesn't look like spring here. I hope it looks like a spring wherever you are. So thanks, Polumi, for the introduction. I'm going to start. I suppose this presentation, or what I want to talk about, is all about flexibility, which is, I suppose, a concept that we all know very well and we all try to achieve in our day-to-day working life. We just need to be as flexible as possible. And this is what we try to be in KantanMT. So regarding, I suppose, the ways of translating through KantanMT, we have a number of goals. One of them would be to connect with multiple devices. Obviously, in this case, with as many CAD tools and translation management systems and content management systems as required by our clients. And also we want to be able to be present in as many working different environments as possible. So we try to adapt to our customers' needs, and the goal is to reduce the effort they need to do to use machine translation as much as possible. And we also, as Polumi was saying, we try to ask questions to our own customers and to, to use their feedback to create the best user experience possible. And of course, like everybody else, I suppose, we try to think before, we preempt our customers' needs as much as possible. So let's move on. We call this the 7 ways of translating with KantanMT. Here they are in a nutshell. Obviously, we can translate using our own platform very easily. We'll show you later. We can translate multilingual language projects, which is something that I suppose is very normal in a localization environment. Normally, a project manager who might need to translate a project won't do it for one language. They might do it into 10, 20, 40, you name it. We obviously have a connection and we can translate, or we can use empty output through CAD tools. But we can also allow, or we allow now our project managers to, to use KantanMT from their own desktop. They don't need to get into our platform. We translate within documents, so parts of documents that we, people might need to translate, the same as web content. And we also have an instant translation device to translate through from a private intranet, which is something that we see as a requirement more and more from our own clients. So the benefits of all these ways, always, I suppose, is to increase productivity, translating from the most suitable environment, to simplify workflow as much as possible, and to integrate with our users' technology or platform of choice. And very importantly, and I suppose this is something that it differentiates us from some other MT choices in the business, is that we have a very stringent system in regards of security. So our clients can be absolutely sure that their content is secure with us. So this is what we do. We help our clients to customize engines as much as possible, and we are great at engine customization. And then we provide very, very fast translations. So let's start with the first one, I suppose, our clients would use, which is translating directly from our platform. Obviously, it can be, one or multiple files can be translated directly from the platform. I'm going to just very quickly show you the platform. I'm sure many of you know it already, but let me see. If I go here, yep. I have to log in possibly. Yeah, here I am. So this is our platform. This is the main page that we always see. If I have chosen already an engine, which is highlighted here. If I go to the tab Translation, the only thing I have to do is, oh, Pulumi has moved my my C drive.
I'm sorry, Laura.
Just 1 second, because I had it all organized. I'll find it in a minute. Okay. Now, sorry for that. So, if we get a file, the only thing we need to do, just give me 1 second. Sorry, it's on the way. We just need to drag and drop, and the file appears on the platform, and the only thing we need to do is click translate, and it will be, it will be sent to translate using the engine that I have selected. If I wanted to drop a number of files, obviously I could do it, and I would do the same. Okay, I'm going to click translate, and we'll see that I will get a notification telling me that the job is on the way. So in the meantime, I go back to my presentation. And we go to the, I suppose, to the next way of translating in KantanMT. We call it batch mode. And really what, I suppose, what we mean by that is a simplified way of translating the same type of content in a multilingual way, I suppose, using a number of empty engines. And as I say, this is something that that is very prevalent, obviously, in the localization and translation business. So I'll show you the option in the platform. It's here. We call it batch. We can only translate, or we can analyze the jobs as well if we wanted to. And then we would just go and select, a number of engines that we want the content to be translated to. We would click next and launch, and the job will be launched. I'm not going to do this because I don't want loads of notifications to be popping up now in my screen. So I'll go back to the presentation. Okay, as I say, this is for, I suppose, to help project managers with multilingual projects. So one of the most used ways of translate through KantanMT is obviously by using our KPI and connecting with a number of CAT tools or translation management systems. Those are some of the ones that we connect with, and we always welcome client suggestions, because we have a very easy to connect API. So if our clients need to connect with another system, they only need to ask. And we are almost very close to announce that we will be connecting with Across very soon. It's hopefully a matter of days. Pulumi has almost the PR ready to announce it as soon as we tell her, we are ready to go. So just for people who are interested in working with Across. So now we get into the into what we call the our Kantan widgets, which are a number of apps. We call them productivity apps because I suppose the aim is to try to help our clients to translate in different ways through different environments, just to make their life as easy as possible and also to make use of their KantanMT engines as much as possible. They are there, you know, they can be used in many ways, I suppose. So the first one is called Kantan Translate and is a web-based application. It can be embedded into any web page or private intranet. It provides instant translation. It's obviously secure and confidential, and is always linked. It needs to be linked to your KantanMT engine, obviously. So this is the way it looks, okay, and obviously is it can be very easily embedded into any private intranet or site used by, let's say, a global company who might have offices in a number of places in the world and might need, you know, might have a need of, let's say, I was going to invent a word, multilingualism. What I mean is, you know, there might be people who might communicate in different languages, even though English usually is the working language. Sometimes people might not be, you know, as good as other people speaking English, and there might be a need for translation. So I'll show you where Kantan Translate lives in our platform. I have it open here, but in any case, it's in the tab Deploy, and we just need to click Kantan Translate. I have it here. You just choose your source and language, source language and target language, and you click and you get the translation. I suppose it's good to imagine this in a client's or in your own intranet. So going back here, so this is the way it could look, let's say, okay? So another way of translating, another widget, is what we call the Kantan desktop, which could be very handy for project managers, I think. I used to be one of them. And, you know, sometimes, I mean, normally project managers work as a crazy speed, and they have huge amount of emails and, you know, coordination to do. So in this case, they can use Kantan Desktop. Is a desktop-based application. The only thing they need to do is drag and drop their files for translation to the Kantan Desktop app. They don't need to open the Kantan platform. And when the file is ready, they receive an email notification. Obviously, this can be used with multiple files as well. So the aim here is to provide ease of use. So here it is. This is how it looks like. Just drag and drop your files, click translate. In 3 steps, the job is launched, and then you will get a notification saying that the job is launched, and then an email when the job is done, and, you know, and that can be downloaded with a button that you can click and download the files straight away from there. So we have it here. I'm going to minimize this for a second, just to make it see better. So here it is. And if I went to my file for translation, or my 2 files for translation, the only thing I need to do is to drag them and click translate, and the job has been launched. So let's move on to the next one. The next one, I think, is handy as well in this, I suppose, in this globalized world where, you know, we might get documents in different languages, and we need to know at least, we need to get the gist of what they say. So this is a plugin for Microsoft MS Office. It allows users to translate directly in Microsoft Office documents, and you can translate words or text within your own working documents, let's say if you get them in a different language than yours. Let's say how it looks like. This is your document. It's very easy. You know, you just have to highlight maybe the paragraph you want to translate. Obviously, you would have had to set up your KantanMT engine with, I think it's language services in Office. And once you have it, you know, it would go directly to your KantanMT engine, and you would get the translation there. Okay, again, it's pretty quick. I'll show you. Let me see if I can just do it here. So I have something highlighted here. I go to translate. Let me see. Okay, here it is, Kantan translate. This is the source, and this is the target. And I think we are almost going to the final one, the final widget. Again, this is done in 3 steps. Which is a widget we have created to translate in your browser. Again, something that we all do constantly, which is maybe we have a client that doesn't have a localized page or website, and you want to know about it, or you know there's some information you want to grab from a website in a different language than yours. So it's an instant translation in your browser, and so far it works for Chrome and Firefox. Okay, and it allows to translate snippets of text without leaving the web page. Excuse me, I need to drink. So the next development would be to translate the full page. So here is an example. Excuse me, you highlight the part of the text you want to translate, and you click on the little icon on the top, and you get the translation done. So if we want to see it, let me see if I have it. Excuse me, no, I just wanted to get our blog. Here it is. So this is our blog. If I highlight something here, and I click on the KantanMT icon, I get the translation straight away. So again, obviously, I mean, you know, some companies deal with very sensitive content, and it is welcome, you know, the fact that they can do this without having to share their data, etc. So basically, just to conclude, we can say that the widgets are available to all our Kantan users. They take very, very little time to basically to make them function. We have full instructions in our website. If anybody needs them, let us know, and we'll send you the instructions or the URL. Although, yeah, I think Polumi might have done that already. She's very efficient. She's always ahead of me.
Actually, no, we have a handout of Kantan widgets in the webinar, but I haven't shared the link. But I'll happily share it with anyone who needs it. Thank you.
So basically, I suppose just to recap, there are 7 ways at the moment you can use your KantanMT engines. One of them is translating directly from the platform. You can do it for multilingual projects. You can use it through the API with your CAT tool of choice. You can embed it in your company intranet. Your project managers can use it from their desktop. and you can translate Office documents and web content with your own KantanMT engines. And I think with that, Polumi, that's it. This is me done. Thanks very much for the time.
We are doing great with time. Thank you, Laura. We'll just see if there are any more questions, if you have any questions. All right. So there is one question right now. What are some of the scenarios where one needs to use or will need to use content widgets in businesses?
One of the things, I suppose, global companies need more and more is support in different languages. Sometimes they might have a support team that covers an area of the world, let's say, but these people might be, might be on for a number of hours, but might be not on when, like, let's say out of working hours, if you like. And their colleagues on the other side of the world, where from the same support team, might be able to see the questions from customers coming in different languages, and they might be able to quickly translate them using Kantan Translate, understand what the customer's question is, prepare a response and translate it back into the customer's language so that the client can get the answer they want as soon as possible. So this could be one, one use of Kantan Translate. And as we know, we all need to look at internet content, and many times it's not in our own language, and that doesn't deter us at all. We are all very used to machine translation by now. And also, as I say, I mean, sometimes, maybe in a global company, communications and things like that are done in one language, but they need to be translated into a different one for maybe employees who don't whose that language is not their main language.
All right, Laura. So it's a very global solution. Thank you. And we seem to have another question. So when using Kantan API, does the engine also use the rules and the glossary files from, I think, the previous engine?
Yes, indeed, absolutely, yes. So basically, when you use KantanMT API, all the rules you have created sometimes they might be applied in the translation phase, sometimes they might be applied in the training phase, and if something doesn't work, sometimes we might have clients with highly, I suppose, technical and complex files, that sometimes they might have a character that doesn't convert well, things like that. There's always, I suppose, a solution. Our professional services are absolutely great at finding solutions for things like that. So the answer is yes.
Okay, and another question, I think it's kind of related, is what would be the advantage of using the APIs over just going and translating on our KantanMT website?
So I suppose at the end of the day, it's a choice. We have clients who use our platform superbly, and they do it through using batch mode, so they do it through the platform. And then we have many clients who use it through the API. Using it through the API, it's good because basically you can set up your let's say your translation memory threshold, and then you get your leverage from the translation memory, and then you get your empty output where you had new words before, and then you just do it, you just create your translation packs for your translators in the same way as you would do, let's say, without translation, machine translation. So it's a very handy way, and it's only one step in the process that is already set up for many localization companies already. So once you have your engines connected through the API, into your TMS or into your CAD tool, you know, it's almost you don't even notice that the content has been populated with machine translation. So again, I suppose some people, though, for control or because they prefer maybe to pre-translate and extract and you know, extract the new content and run it through in batch mode. Some people prefer to use batch mode, but certainly for somebody who has an automated workflow, I say API is good. It's very good.
All right, thank you. And then, right, another question that we have is, why would I need to use content widgets over, say, Google Translate or Bing?
Well, again, I suppose we cannot overemphasize the fact that, so, you know, clients normally don't like to share their own content. They find it, you know, very difficult to understand. So in our case, we just don't share any content. So our clients' content and their clients' content, it's very secure with us. So that's a very good reason. And also, obviously, of course, because we have the customization capabilities that the other very good, of course, open empty systems will not have. So we get into the nitty-gritty of any problem, and we, you know, we pretty much always manage to fix it.
Yeah, we always do. Brilliant team here. Thanks, Laura. I think that's about the time we have. We've done great with time. So once again, Laura, thank you so much. And thanks everyone else for joining us today. If you have any questions, we are always here. So please drop a mail to info@KantanMT.com and we'll be here answering your questions. Thanks. Have a great day.
Bye-bye. Thank you.